Okay, but what does that mean? No! No, not the strawberry plant! This is me. Hi. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, let's take it back to the beginning. So Stardew Valley is an incredibly popular farming game among cozy gamers everywhere, but since you've clicked into this video, I'm guessing you already knew that. Hi, my name is Pagan, and this is my first ever season in Stardew Valley as a complete beginner. And subsequently, it is probably one of the worst progress videos ever made in Stardew Valley. I should note that I didn't use any guides or Wikipedia page. In fact, I didn't know that there was all of this vast amount of information, guides, books, videos, etc. on the internet until somebody had mentioned it in the chat. So, save for the occasional YouTube comment or for whenever I was playing parts of this gameplay over on Twitch, I was essentially on my own. So, why did I make this video? Well, for your amusement. I know that there are a lot of videos out there for Stardew Valley, including the 100-day challenges, etc. After I completed the 28 days, I started Googling this and I saw all of those videos, but I never saw any video that was a complete beginner first season only, so I thought I would document this process for your amusement. So I guess you're welcome. Also, as mentioned earlier, parts of this playthrough was recorded live over on Twitch. So you will be seeing my face throughout this video, specifically towards the end of the video. And if you're interested in joining us next time we go live on Twitch, make sure to hit the link in the description. All right, without further ado, here is my first ever season in Stardew Valley as a complete beginner with no guide. And it is probably some of the slowest progress ever made in the first season of Stardew Valley that you've probably ever watched. So enjoy. So I started with my character Penny Rose on Cozy Rosie Farm. Because I actually started this game in October last year, I wanted to keep the spooky vibes going, and I chose the wilderness farm to start off with, which honestly I regret later on. And for my very special granddaughter, oh, this could make me cry. Alright, I was not expecting Stardew Valley's opening to hit this hard. God, that's sad. I think that this is either dead or dying grandpa, and he has now bequeathed to me his farm on Stardew Valley, so I quit my job and just head on out to the country and start up a farm because that's what we do here. We out here farming. There, I'm quickly greeted by Robin and Mayor Lewis and headed over to Cozy Rosie Farm to have a look at this horribly out of shape farmhouse and farmland that my grandfather left me. Hey, and just like that, it's Monday, the first day. This is me chopping the parcel before actually realizing how to open the parcel and get my first set of parsnip seeds. Wow, look at us go, parsnip seeds and everything. I then headed over to the TV to check whatever the heck that was, and honestly, I had no idea that the weather report, living off the land, and the fortune teller actually had something to do with the game. I just thought it was a fun interaction. But hey, I'm only learning here. Next, I moved outside to try and clear some of this area, and I started chopping grass. Yes, that's right, chopping grass, because I didn't realize that there was a scythe or any kind of value in tool changing straight away. I do get better at this honestly, but it is a bit of a learning curve considering I'm only starting the game. Soon I figure out there is a journal and that I need to cultivate and harvest a parsnip as my first task. So I moved out through my farm to try and clear a little bit more area of the land. Yes, slowly with chopping. Honestly, I do get better, okay? It's just, you have to bear with me in these first few teething moments. See, I did it. I hoed the land and I was planting some seeds and look at me go, farming. In a farming game. Out here on my farm. Honestly, magnificent. I am the best. After spending all of my energy on farming, I made my way into town really, really slowly. I honestly didn't realize that the energy meter was a thing. I thought that I had toggled some kind of walk key instead of a run key, and that is why I was taking a long time to get everywhere, and I was trying to figure that out for ages, but there you go. I did manage to meet some people while I was in town though, before heading over to the saloon. Inside the saloon, I met Gus, and I kind of figured out the energy meter thing and thought I should try and test my theory with some bread. So I bought a crusty baguette from Gus and I tried to eat it. Took me a while to figure out how to equip and eat this bread, but once I did, I saw the energy meter go up and started moving a little quicker in the map. Realizing that I was onto a little bit of a trick here, I decided to get some more food in the form of spaghetti and meatballs as a nice lunch in the saloon before starting my day in Stardew Valley. Outside, I ran into some more people like Maru, Abigail, and then I headed over to the museum or the archaeological center, and I met Gunther. Considering one of the opening tasks is to meet everyone in town, I was trying to meet as many people as possible. Outside, I passed Mayor Lewis and I ran into someone called Elliot on the bridge who honestly kind of looks like one of those drawings that you would see on the cover of one of those spicy novels you get at the supermarket. Anybody else? Anybody else think that? No? Is that just me? Okay. I made my way over to the beach and I saw some clams that were just lying around, and since nobody else wanted them, I thought I would give them a good home. AKA sell them for money. Or eat them, actually. And then I came across this bridge that cost 300 wood to repair. And I thought, wow, that's probably handy. I should really repair that bridge. Except I didn't do that at all. I completely forgot about this bridge for the rest of the season. Then I made my way to other people's houses, honestly just walking in. Nobody invited me. I just busted on right in there and tried to introduce myself. Oh, you're the new farmer girl or whatever, aren't you? Or whatever? Haley, you're lucky you're beautiful. Girl, that was not very nice. Or whatever? That's rude. Oh my goodness. Quickly realized Haley was beautiful but kind of rude. Then I went over to her next door neighbors and bust on into that house. There I met Jody, but Sam and Vincent were both in their rooms because honestly, I just burst into their house. Why would they not be in their rooms? And I just met Jody then for that day, and I would have to get Sam and Vincent later. After that, it started to get dark pretty quickly, and I realized I should probably make my way back to the cabin as I'm not sure when the day will actually end and if I will lose any progress that I've saved. And that was when I realized the wilderness farm really do be wildin' out here. A slimy thing tried to attack me and I didn't have anything to protect myself. It affected my health and honestly, I got a little bit scared, so I ran home, cried myself to sleep, and that was the end of day 1. On day 2, I get a letter in the post from someone called Willie who asks me to come down to the beach sometime because he's got something for me. Thank you, kind stranger, for asking me to a secluded area with the promise of a gift. I accept. I get done with watering some of my cool parsnips and head on into town. I see this strange floating question mark and I realize it's actually a calendar with all of the events and birthdays, but if I'm totally honest, I'm gonna forget about a lot of these birthdays. I don't mean to be mean or anything, but I honestly just forget that they have birthdays, okay? Heading down to the beach, it triggers a cutscene where Willie gives me a fishing pole and teaches me how to fish. Honestly, it's kind of nice. It's just a really nice daughter-dad vibe with a stranger that I've just met today who's given me this fishing pole and taught me how to fish. I eventually get a hang of the fishing mechanics and catch my first sardine. I make my way back up into town because I realize I have got so many more people to meet, and I run into some of them while I'm in the center. I run into Jazz and Marnie, and then I make my way to Pierre's. At Pierre's, I realize that this is obviously the local grocery shop. I meet Pierre, Caroline, and Emily, and I stumble upon this altar that kind of gives me the ick because I'm not sure if I've unknowingly stumbled upon a cult, so I hightail it out of Pierre's just in case they try and convert me. Outside, I notice this exclamation point, which leads me to a bulletin board, and I very naively accept a request from Jody for a potato because I'm Irish and I couldn't not try. So I went back into Pierre's, got myself a potato seed and a kale seed because we love rough greens. And instead of heading back to my farm to plant them and water them immediately, I just kind of forget I have them for a while and make my way around town to continue meeting more of the townspeople. I get to meet Clint, hang out at the graveyard for a little bit because that was kind of cool. I didn't realize that there was a graveyard there. That's neat. That's a neat. Anyway, then I meet Sam, who seems nice, and I also get to meet Demetrius and Sebastian by just, going into his house. Sebastian gives me like these kind of moody teen emo vibes, and I'm kind of here for it, honestly. Finally, I meet Linus on the outskirts of town, and he just breaks my heart a little bit, but he seems really cute. He seems nice. I like him. I head back to my farm for just a little bit to try and clear some of the area before going back into town to try and meet as many people as possible. I ended up at Jojo Mart quite late in the evening, and I met Morris for the first time before realizing that I still haven't planted any of my shit, so I went back to my farm and planted my potato and my kale seed. After a long day of meeting everybody and doing the basic minimal farming tasks on my farm, I was exhausted. So I headed to bed to round off day 2. And look at that, a whole 90 gold. I told you this would be really bad progress. On day 3, I wake up to an advertisement from Pierre regarding a backpack that he wants to sell me. So I head on over to Pierre's to see what kind of price we're talking. And he's closed on Wednesdays. Bummer. I try and make the most of the day though, and I still want to meet everybody that I can, and I come across someone new. No, I don't have time to chat with you. Okay, that's mean. Quickly realized that not everybody in Stardew Valley is nice. I thought Shane was pretty mean, actually, and Haley was pretty rude the other day, too. I head on over to the pond, though, to try and cheer myself up with a little bit of fishing that I learned from Willie the other day, and it's just kind of nice to fish in the rain, honestly. This is my first rainy day in Stardew Valley, and I like it. I like the moody vibes. I then head back into town and, like, bust into some more houses just to see if I can meet more people, and hey, what do you know? I do. I meet Penny and Pam in their trailer. I also meet Alex and George in their house as well. I head on over to Jody's and finally meet Vincent too. And then after that, it got dark pretty quickly, so I made my way back home. Oh my goodness, an actual monster! No, get inside! Oh my gosh! Honestly, this game is kind of terrifying. On the wilderness farm, I'm not gonna lie to you, that monster really did scare me. On day 4, I did a little bit of farming and I finally figured out how to use the scythe to clear out a little bit of my garden and also the pickaxe to start opening some stones, which I found a geode, so that was kind of cool. It was my first ever geode and it told me to head over to the blacksmith, which I promptly did, and I met Clint and he processed a geode for me, which I got some calcite, and I figured, you know who needs this? The museum. After that, I realized I had one more person to meet, finally, to finish our introductions. And after a whole day looking for her, I found her. It was Leah. Hi. Yes, we did it! This honestly took me forever, and I just ended up heading to bed at 9:30 because I'd finally accomplished a task, and I felt kind of good about myself, honestly. Don't look at this, though. I only got 30 gold, so that's a bit sad. On day 5, I was given a new task to give someone a gift, which I quickly forgot about, honestly. And then I got a message from Jojo about some rubble that was cleared, but honestly, I didn't even see any rubble throughout this day, so yeah, I didn't really know what he was talking about. Cultivated my first parsnip and finished one of my opening tasks, which I was so happy about. Headed into town to get some more seeds and actually ran into Mayor Lewis. He took me to this abandoned community center and told me he had a rat problem that he wanted me to investigate, which I'm not sure is my job, Mayor Lewis, but sure. You know what? Why not? Anyway, after a trippy experience in the community center, I went over to Pierre's and bumped into Shane, who was rude as usual. And I noticed on the notice board that Willie was looking for 2 chub, and I naively accepted this quest. Also bear in mind that I'm not using any Wikipedia guides or anything like that to try and get these fish, so this was going to be a pretty eventful day of me trying to get chub. I finally got some seeds from Pierre's and went back to my farm to plant them before heading out to all the bodies of water that I could find to try and get these chub. Honestly, it wasn't a very successful day. As you could see, I got some trash, some sardines, I think a bass at one point. It was honestly a lot. Ran into Caroline in town and then was weirdly hit on by Alex. Honestly, it still doesn't sit quite right with me. It's kind of weird. Because I still hadn't sorted the inventory thing, I had to go back to the property and clear out some of my inventory so I can continue fishing for these chub that were extremely elusive. The whole day was honestly spent trying to find these 2 chub for Willie, but clearly I was very unsuccessful, collecting nothing but trash and sardines. So I decided to call it a day, head back to my monster-infested farm, which is honestly nightmare fuel that I completely regret. And I ended up calling it a day at 12 a.m. on Friday. I did level up in farming though, so I was pretty proud of that, and I made over 200 gold, which, I mean, that's some kind of progress, right? On day 6, I was on a chub fishing mission. I was not going to let this mission get the best of me, so I needed to find 2 chub, and that's exactly what I planned to do today. So I spent the majority of the morning fishing. I still hadn't figured out the inventory issue, so I went over to Pierre's to find out more about the backpack and realized that it was absurdly overpriced at 2,000 gold. Just, that is insane, Pierre. What is it made of? Money? What? Oh god. Capitalism really has gotten the better of Stardew Valley here, it seems. Made my way back out to any body of water that I could find to try and get these chub. Obviously, I was not very successful for a while, but I wasn't going to give up. I was so determined to get these chub until finally... Yes! We got the chub! Let's go! Okay. 2 chub, let's go! Oh my gosh! I'm so excited! It's the last day! Where can I take this? Oh gosh. Return to Willie. Oh no, what if he's closed? Where does he go when it's closed? Yes! That's right, I did it. I found Willy and I returned to him 2 chub as requested. I felt so good. I went around, spoke to some of the people, realized Shane was obviously still rude. Pam is clearly not okay. And Sebastian is still giving me those little emo vibes. Loving life, finishing the day on a high. I felt so productive today. That was the end of day 6. And with all my efforts, I managed to level up in fishing, and honestly, I'm pretty proud of that. Keeping up with the productive streak, on day 7, I did a little bit of farming, clearing a little bit of the farm, and then headed towards the mines. I saw this kind of opening at the top of the map when I was doing the fishing for the chub. So I went in and triggered a cutscene with Marlon. He gave me some rusty sword, and that is when I discovered the mines. So I went down and actually only got to this first level because I did not realize that there was going to be a ladder that would pop up. So I was just in here for a while, just busting up some rocks. After smashing some rocks, I made my way over to the community center to see if I could figure out what Mayor Lewis was talking about regarding the rat problem. Came across this weird slab with kind of markings on it, but because I don't read influencer, I didn't understand what it was saying. So I guess I was just making my way around this community center to try and actually figure out if there was a rat problem. No, really, I actually did that. I spent a lot of time in here. I'm apparently very gullible. I didn't realize the tablet was all you needed to do. And yeah, no, turns out that is absolutely all you need to do. I made my way back into town, ran into some people, and Willie gave me some really good fishing advice regarding purchasing an upgrade for a fishing rod. So I made a mental note to do that in future. And then I headed into the saloon and got myself a beer. Let's round off that first week of being a farmer with a beer. I also didn't realize that when I drank the beer, you clearly can, I think, get drunk because I changed color. And I wasn't sure if that was a thing. I now regret not drinking more beer that night. Maybe I'll do that in future. Also, is Pam okay? She's really concerning me sometimes, man. Jeez. Went back over to my farm and finally figured out a solution to my storage problem and figured out that I could build a chest with enough resources. So I did that. And then I started fishing until a bat tried to eat me to death. And then I made my way back into my cabin, snuggled up for the first week of farming, and called it a night. On day 8, Clint told me how to make a furnace, which I believe is going to come in handy for when I collect ore in the mines. So thanks for that, Clint. Thanks for looking out for me. I also got a message in the post from a wizard who told me that he had more information about my rat problem in the community center and that I was to head over to his chambers at the edge of the forest. So that was a little creepy, but hey, I'm invested now. Sure, why not? Did my farmy-warmy bits, found an artifact on my land, so I made a mental note to bring that to Gunther when I got the chance, and then headed over to the stone tower at the corner of the map. And he was like an actual wizard, guys. He had some weird pentagram drawn on the floor, a giant cauldron, a hat, a cape. He's got the whole shebang. He even did a magic trick and summoned a demon berry, which he called a Junimo, and told me that they wanted something, but in order to understand them, I was going to have to taste the forest. And he made this concoction that I would have to taste. And so I did. I drank it. And I went on a wild trip. A really wild herby trip. And suddenly I was gifted the power of forest magic. So now I can understand what the Junimo scrolls were saying. So that's pretty neat. I absolutely forget about that though. So there's that. In the meantime, I went over to Gunther's and donated my spur, accepted a quest to slay some demons in the mines, stocked up on some bread, and headed over. And then it was demon slaying time. I slayed a couple of slime, but then realized that I was very quickly running out of time. And by this point, I did actually know that at 2 a.m. my character would essentially crash from exhaustion and I would lose some stuff. So I tried to make it home as quickly as possible, and I got there by the skin of my teeth. So after a weird trippy day, I called it a night for end of day 8. I did level up in foraging though, so I'm pretty happy with that. On day 9, I harvested some of my crops. I even chopped one of my parsnips and I had no idea. I didn't even notice. I went into town, accepted a request from Demetrius who was looking for some carp, stocked back up on some seeds, and headed back to the farm to plant them. Then I made my way over to Clint's to process a geode. It was sandstone, and Gunther already had that, but I did run into Penny, who told me that the raindrops are really loud from her trailer, and I honestly had to hear that. Rain is my favorite sound, so I went to her trailer, and I stood there for a few seconds, just really absorbing the sound of the rain. checked in on Pam. She seemed fine today, which is great because I really do have my concerns about Pam. And then I made my way over to the mines. I don't even know what I accomplished in the mines on this day. I really was just out here smashing rocks, if I'm honest. I didn't even get that far into it, and I don't think I slayed any further slime either, so it was honestly just a little bit of a waste of time. I did end up doing a lot of foraging on this day though, because there was quite a lot of foraging to be had. Leeks and wild horseradish were everywhere, so it was kind of a good day for foraging. And that was it. Honestly, that was day 9. It was really unproductive, but I did get level 1 in mining, even though I did the bare minimum down there, so I guess that's progress. On day 10, Marnie was outside of my door with the cutest little kitty. I ended up adopting a cat and I called him Caesar because in real life I actually do have a ginger cat called Caesar, and it was just so cute to see him on my farm. He is the best boy. So cute. I also got a message from Robin who told me that she could build a well with some resources from my property if I could gather them. So I spent the morning on the farm to gather some resources to start actually building some stuff and maybe trying to even tick off some more of the tasks that I have assigned. I also ate some spaghetti because I think I'm getting the hang of this energy meter thing, which is just gameplay progress for me, honestly. I got enough resources to craft myself a scarecrow, which was actually one of the tasks to achieve, so I'm very proud of myself that I got that ticked off. Then checking the journal entries, I realized that this was the final day for the carp for Demetrius and realized I completely forgot about that yesterday, so I went out to every body of water to try and find myself a carp. Sadly, was very unsuccessful. But I did manage to run into Vincent in town and I realized it was his birthday, so I gave him a fish for his birthday, because what child doesn't love fish? Honestly. I spent the rest of the evening trying to fish again for this carp, but sadly was super unsuccessful. I did catch a sardine and some bream though, which was kind of cool, and hopefully will just contribute to the money situation that I need, but unfortunately no carp for Demetrius, so I failed to get that task. I made my way back to the cabin though and discovered the cute little kitty is sleeping in my cabin, which was so lovely. So I went over, said hello, and wished him a good night. And that was the end of day 10. All that fishing did pay off though, because I did reach level 2. On day 11, I received a letter in the post from Robin to say that she had lost her axe and she was willing to offer 250 gold for whoever finds it. 250 gold is a lot of money, so you bet your booty I was gonna go ahead and look for this axe like my life depended on it. Had a quick look in town and then headed into the forest where I found Jazz and Vincent playing by the sewer. Honestly, it's a weird choice, guys. You could be playing in anything else or anywhere else, honestly, but who am I to judge? Anyway, they seemed pretty spooked out and then I decided to check it out and whatever was in there spooked the heck out of me too. The cutscene ends pretty abruptly from there though, so I just continued on my mission to have a look for that axe. I did manage to do quite a lot of foraging on this day though while I was looking for the axe and came across this jackpot of a spring onion find. I honestly thought this might be someone else's farm for a second because of how they were laid out, but no. Turns out it's just jackpot spring onion season, I guess. I found the axe and headed over to Robin to get that 250 gold, baby. Let's go! Woohoo! I then headed back over to the farm, deposited all of my finds for the day in the shipping bin, and called it a night. This was honestly my most lucrative day as a farmer as I gained almost 1,000 gold with foraging and farming, so I'm pretty happy with that. Day 12 started off pretty chill. I did some things around the farm and then I went and said good morning to Mr. Caesar because he is the best boy before I accidentally watered him. That's my bad, buddy. I also did get a message in the post from Mayor Lewis to tell me about the egg festival that is happening tomorrow. You know, I don't even know what the heck that is, so I'm excited though. Went into Pierre's and finally purchased the backpack upgrade. Let's go. Inventory issues. And then I got some more seeds and headed back to the farm. I did make this critical error of putting the green bean stalks very close to each other. Luckily, I didn't do more than these 2 rows, so it didn't really affect the green bean outcome of the rest of the season, but I have learned my lesson that I need to now space out those green bean rows for sure. Then I pretty much just spent the rest of the day on the farm. It was kind of a cozy evening, if I'm honest. I was just farming for resources as much as possible and ended the day with a bit of fishing. And what do you know? A carp. I slugged my way into bed just before 12 and said goodnight to Caesar for the end of day 12. So today is the day of the egg festival. So I started out on my farm and just did the regular farming bits. You know me. I made sure Caesar had some water, and then I went over and said hello because he is the best boy. Oh my goodness. Then decided to clean up a little bit around the farm before heading over to the mailbox and discovering that I had a message from Dad who sent me 500 G's. Okay, Dad, thank you. Headed on into town to see this egg festival, and oh my goodness, it's so cute! Noticed that there was a shop, so I immediately bought some strawberry seeds with Daddy's money, and then went over and talked to Pam, who looked a little suspicious, and yeah, turns out she put something in the punch. Is Pam okay? I also spoke to Linus, who honestly breaks my heart every time I speak to him. But you know, Shane didn't have anything rude to say today, so he must have been in a really good mood because he did not insult me or offend me in one bit. So that was kind of surprising. After speaking to a lot of people in the town, I then decided to go over to Mayor Lewis and start the egg hunt, which, needless to say, I was terrible at, okay? I was just awful at. What else do you expect from me? I didn't use a guide. This is my first time playing the egg hunt. So I managed to get a total of about 5 eggs. So obviously, I didn't win. Damn you, Abigail. After it was over, it was already 10 p.m. So I don't know, got into bed, cuddled with Caesar, and said goodnight. And that was the end of day 13. On the morning of day 14, I was just watering my crops, and honestly, this was the first time that I noticed that my little crop growing area was getting a lot bigger. So yay for me. I was pretty proud of my farming progress. Then I went to the mines and spent the rest of the day there and just, you know, slayed some demons. Look at me. I'm a badass. Just slaying. Just mining and slaying. The purpose of this was to just get as much copper ore as possible so that I could head on home and build a furnace. I placed the furnace at the back of the property, and then I called it a night. On Monday, day 15, I got a letter from Marlon in the post who asked me to slay 10 slimes, and then I will have earned my place in the Adventurers Guild. That kind of sounded fun, to be honest, so I'm definitely going to do that. And Granny Evelyn also sent over some growing advice regarding crops that will die out in the season. So that was pretty cool. I honestly didn't know what to expect because this is my first time playing, so not sure. I checked the journal update for some of the tasks that were available and realized that I had enough resources to mark one off by smelting my first copper ore. Woohoo! Then I headed into town and I checked the bulletin board. Shane was looking for a Joja Cola laying around, and honestly, I have this sick, twisted need to try and please Shane and get him to like me, so of course I accepted that. I headed over to Joja Mart and actually bought the Joja Cola can myself and gave it to Shane. He seemed pretty grateful, honestly, and that was really nice, and he also gave me the money back that I had just paid for that can, so it's not all bad. I then made my way over to the museum to donate some quartz and earth crystal that I had previously found in the mine, and I got a reward, which was kind of cool, so I collected my cauliflower seeds and was back on my way. I then ended up foraging for salmonberries because I discovered that you could pluck them off of the bushes, and I became a salmonberry fiend. That was basically all I did for the rest of the day, was try and find salmonberries to harvest. I mean, look at me go. I'm an absolute fiend. A salmonberry fiend, I tell you. And then I made my way back towards my farm and it triggered the most heartbreaking cutscene. Oh my gosh, poor Linus. Oh my gosh. It was me, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. If you need food, just ask. Oh my goodness. I don't want anyone in Pagan Town to go hungry. Oh. That was so flipping wholesome. Oh my gosh, poor Linus. After that emotional encounter, I was definitely ready for some sleep. So I headed back to my cabin and snuggled up with Caesar for the end of day 15. On day 16, I got a note from Pierre trying to sell me some fertilizers. So I decided to head on over to Pierre's right after I harvested some of my crops. I headed on over to Pierre's and it triggered the Mars cutscene, where Mars walked straight into Pierre's shop and offered all of Pierre's customers 50% off at Joja Mart. That was so freaking rude, honestly, and then everybody left, which was also freaking rude. I spent the rest of the day harvesting some salmonberries and did some light fishing before heading back to the cabin. The day wasn't a total loss though. I did manage to level up to level 2 in farming and level 2 in foraging, so not a total waste. On day 17, I ran into Lewis, who was mumbling about tax collection, which honestly sounded super boring, so I then spoke to Caroline, who asked me if I had everything I needed for the farm but didn't actually offer me anything, so there's that. Headed over to Clint's and asked him to process a geode, and I got a mudstone. Went over to the museum straight away and donated it, of course. Ran into Abigail, who told me that she would be sorry if she was rude because she didn't get any sleep last night, and honestly, girl, same. I don't know if I had a plan for the rest of the day, but I definitely got distracted by the salmonberries. I'm just a salmonberry fiend, okay? I can't resist free food off a tree. So sue me. I did also bump into Linus, who told me he didn't know me well enough to trust me, sorry, so I said fuck you Linus, and I took all the free food that was growing around his living area. I spent the rest of the evening slaying some demons in the mines to try and get the 10 slimes for the Adventure Guild. And, I mean, I bossed it. Let's be real. I am Buffy the Slime Slayer. After a whole evening of demon slaying, I headed back to bed to get some much needed rest. So some might think that I went to the Adventurers Guild the next day, seeing as I just slayed 10 slimes, but you're wrong. I didn't, in fact, do that. I watered my crops, I cleaned out some of the grass on my property, and then I headed over to Pam's house to give her some fruit for her birthday, because that woman needs some fruit and fiber after all the alcohol she's been drinking. I headed back out to town, and oh my god, is that a salmonberry bush? You know me and my salmonberry bushes, can't help it. Cleared this area by the community center and ran into Haley, who told me that she was going to throw out all of last year's styles to make room for this year's. And honestly, Haley, you are just the worst kind of person. At least donate it, for goodness sake. I spent the rest of the evening fishing and got myself a sunfish, a sardine, and an anchovy. Pretty good day, but honestly, no real progress. On day 19, I got this adorable message in the post telling me about a hat mouse to bring coins and buy a hat. So I absolutely had to do that. Is this oh my gosh, he is here! Oh my goodness, look at this! I love him! I, of course, bought the Suester hat for the ridiculous amount of 1,000 gold, and I couldn't figure out how to actually equip the hat. I know now that you have to click and drag, but I didn't know that at the time, so this actually stays in my inventory for the rest of the season. Back at the cabin, I noticed that there was a request from Jody for some cauliflower, which I accepted. Then I made my way into town, and I noticed that the bulletin board had a new post, which was from Alex looking for a potato, and since I had that on me, I just went over to Alex and gave it to him straight away, and made 240 gold. I then finally went over to the Adventurers Guild and spoke to Marlin, and I got myself a new sword. I'm not actually sure how a wooden sword is better than the rusty sword, but I guess we'll see. I then went back to the farm and spent the rest of the evening farming for resources. I did this because I know that the coop is going to take a lot of resources with Robin, so I just continued to farm until the bats tried to eat me, I guess, and then I just called it an early night. The next day, I watered my crops and spent the morning harvesting some more resources, and quickly realized you should not harvest a tree right next to a body of water. Oh. Does that mean I don't get any of the wood? It went into the water. No, what the feck? No, come back here. It's fine though, there are plenty of trees on this property, and I did make up more of the wood resources. I just spent the energy. Oh well. I went on over to Robin to see what else I would require to construct the coop, and it turns out I need 4,000 gold, which means that I need to make some money fast. So I went back over to the property and put everything in the shipping bin that I could, spent the evening planting some trees, and went to bed. I did make 530 gold though, so not a total loss, but the next day didn't start off so great. Cauliflower for Jody, let's go! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I just gave... No! Oh gosh. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. 2024 actually hurts. Physical pain. It's not all bad though. I went over to Pierre's and got some more cauliflower seeds and just some more seeds in general for the farm. And then I headed back over to the farm to plant them and realized I actually have more cauliflower growing. I just didn't realize it. I kind of forgot. Then I went over to the beach to do some fishing, and hey, look, it's that bridge that I was supposed to fix, but I completely forgot about it and will continue to ignore while I'm fishing here. But, you know, I caught a sardine, so that's pretty cool, I guess. I spent the rest of the evening fishing because I figured that fish was probably going to be the best way for me to earn money fast. And then I went back to the farm and did some more resource farming before calling it a day. All the fishing paid off though, and I got level 3 fishing. Let's go. On day 22, I harvested my strawberries, which I'm so excited for. As a lady from Wexford, if you know, you know. I also got to harvest some of my green beans, which I did realize now have been planted the wrong way. But listen, it is all a learning curve, and I'm pretty sure after the season ends, if the green beans die, I can then start over next season. I then made my way into town, but not before I said hello to my little itty bitty baby Caesar, the best boy. Isn't he so cute? Went on over to town and checked the calendar to see if I'd missed anything, and oh look, I've missed Shane's birthday. Oh no, what a bummer. Maybe next year, friend. Went on over to Clint's to process some geodes and donated it to the museum as usual. And then I spent the rest of the day fishing because I still needed that money, fam. I really need the 4,000 gold to get the coop. I then headed back to my farm and I realized that the monsters are now coming out a lot earlier than usual, which kind of annoyed me. And that is why the wilderness farm is a big regret for me so far. But I did end up making over 700 gold overnight, which I am pretty proud of. Okay, but what does that mean? No! No, not the strawberry plant! Okay, so as you can see, the day 23 didn't start that great. I also didn't know that you could just exit the game and restart the day if you did something like this, but honestly, it's a big learning curve, and I'm kind of happy I didn't. Mayor Lewis then sent me a letter about the flower dance that was happening tomorrow, and honestly, I have no idea what a flower dance is, but I decided to go into town and talk to some people to see if they could give me some more information or if there was any prompts that I was missing, but no, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Went over to Clint's and processed some geodes, and then went to the museum to donate the topaz that I collected recently from the mines, and I got a little reward. Gunther gave me some melon seeds, which was my first summer crop because I went over to the farm to try and plant them and realized I was planting them out of season. This is the first time I realized that there are seasonal crops, even though Evelyn had sent me that message. It was the first time I've seen it in action. I then smelted a copper bar at the evening and tried to sell it to hopefully get more money so that I could get the freaking coop. Called it a night at 8:10 p.m. because I knew the monsters were imminent. Day 24 was the flower dance, and I was really excited to head on over because of how the egg festival went. I really enjoyed the egg festival, so I went on in with some great expectations. I got some seasonal decor from the shop before talking to some of the townspeople. Caroline dropped a real bummer TMI, so I decided to talk to everybody else to see what they had to say. Elliot looking spiffy for the occasion. Pam coming in as usual with her concerning alcohol-based comment at a public family event. And Sebastian coming in hot with the emo, I don't want to be here, I just want to be back in my room listening to My Chemical Romance kind of vibes, and honestly, I dig it. I decided to go ahead and start the dance, whatever that was, and I was kind of excited. Okay, I mean, look at it. It is so freaking adorable, and the soundtrack is just chef's kiss. This game is amazing. I love this! Aww. That was fun. Time to go home. Aww. It was then time to go home, so I placed my seasonal decor and called it a night. I did level up in farming though, which is pretty cool. On day 25, I finally gave the cauliflower to the correct person, Jody, who asked for it, and I got 350 gold for completing this task. I then went into town and I saw that Clint was looking for copper ore, so I went into the mines to go and mine some copper ore for Clint because he told me that I could actually keep the copper ore when he was done with them, so I felt like that was a pretty good deal. This honestly took up a lot of my day, so I just went back home and I hit the hay early because the creepy creepies are gonna come out at night and kill me if I didn't. Also, I got level 2 in mining, so it's not bad. Oh, and I got level 1 in combat because I'm a damn badass, okay? I did also make over 1,200 gold overnight, and that means I have enough to get the coop. The next day, I woke up to a present from Pam, who sent me an energy tonic, which I'm honestly so thankful for. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't alcoholic, but thank you, Pam. That was actually really nice of you. Thank you. I then went over to Clint and dropped off the ores that I collected for him from the mines, and he, as promised, gave me back the ores. Nice. I went over to Robin to finally get the coop and realized I did not equip any of the wood or stone in my inventory to go over, so I had to go back to my farm, get all of that into my inventory, and then go back over to Robin to finally get the chicken coop. I then realized that I get to choose the location of this chicken coop, and it took a little while, but I figured the best place for it would probably be over here, so I'm gonna give that a go. I had some spare time in the evening, so I went back to the farm and planted some more crops. I also made some fertilizer and fertilized a few of them just to see how that would turn out. Then I spent the evening just fishing on my property with my cat next to me. And honestly, this was so freaking cute and wholesome. Just look at him. He is the best boy. I also managed to catch a chub, which was pretty cool. And then I called it night. Oh, we got a foraging one. Cool. Okay, so while editing that video, I realized that I stopped on day 27, and I think day 27 and day 28 are the last days of spring. So I'm gonna try and make as much progress in the next 2 days as possible. So I need to check what we have in the journal. The first is to build a coop, and the second is reach level 40 in the mines. Okay, so I'm just gonna stock up on food. The coop is being built by Robin, as we saw yesterday, which is great news. So she's here, right? Still building? Still building. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do all the farming bits, and then I'm gonna hit the mines. Okay, so it's just before 9 a.m. and I'm heading to the mines to see can we reach level 40 in the next 2 days, which honestly, I don't think is gonna be possible, but fine. We'll give it a go, I guess. Oh, I can use the elevator, right? To go to where I've gone to? Oh my gosh, 5. Okay, great. We can start on level 5. Great news, everybody. I do also have that energy tonic from Pam, which I totally forgot about, so that's pretty cool. I am pretty slow at trying to like hot swap between the pickaxe and the sword without actually using the mouse, because I'm not really a PC gamer. Usually I like the Switch and I like my PlayStation, so using PC keys sometimes is pretty hard for me, but I'll get there in the end. If you're just patient, I'll probably get there. I have no time for you today, demon. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I did it! I'm so proud of me. Thank you. I need to figure out how to make that energy tonic. Wow, is that good? I just need one more level to get the elevator. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, don't die, and then don't pass out either. I don't know what to do because I need the ladder and I don't know where it is. And I could pass out. Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Let's go. Okay, I have to leave the mine because I'm definitely going to pass out and I don't want to lose everything that I have. Okay, that's awesome. Wow. Okay, we did level 15, which essentially was 10 levels. So judging by that, I'm definitely not going to be reaching 40 levels before the end of the season, but it's worth a shot, I suppose, until we can get the completed task. It is what it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I left the mine when I did. It's so late now. Oh my god, the monsters are on my property. Get off. Oh my god, nightmare fuel. All right. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it. Okay, so is this... best boy. Is this the last day of spring? Cool. I can learn how to cook all these things, but I don't have a kitchen or anything to cook with. So... I almost pickaxed my stuff. I have leather boots. How do I affix the leather boots to me? Click and drag. Aha! Very nice. Oh, that means I can put on my hat. I can put on my hat because I realized how to put on the hat now. Yes. Great stuff. Let's go. Yay, I have a little hat. My new leather boots. Ah, that's so cute. Hey, day 28 was great so far. Okay, I'm gonna go check on Robin, see if she's still building a coop. She is still building the coop, which is great. So I'm gonna head over to the mines again and see how far we can get this time. I guess we just reached level 15, so I'm guessing we're probably not gonna get very far, but I think it's worth a shot. Like, at this point, it's just worth a shot. And I've got new boots and a new hat, and maybe it'll be okay. Who knows? Okay, we start at level 15. This makes so much sense now as well. Because how do people get down so far every time? Elevators are handy. Oh god. Why does everything want to attack me here? Oh my goodness. What is that? What is it doing? What? No! Oh. It's the bug cocoons! Oh my gosh, go Kit. Okay, get them while they're freaking worms is the key here. Get them while they are worms. Oh my gosh, that is so handy to know. Oh, yes. Ha! Yes! Level 20! Oh my god! Yes, thank you! That's amazing! Let's change that. Or where do I put that? Here, this is where I put that. Take that. A rice shoot? Oh, that'd be cool. Slime can go in the trash. Bug meat can go in the trash. Cool. Wow, that's awesome. Yay! Wow! Oh my gosh, can I fish here? I know this isn't the time for fishing, but guys, when the opportunity presents itself. Don't lose it, don't lose it. What'd I get? A ghost fish! Oh my gosh, that's so cool! And an ancient sword? Oh my gosh, okay, first. Okay, I almost fucked that up. I didn't. But I almost did. Okay. 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 Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! How many are there on this level? Oh my god, thank goodness it dropped me. Oh! This area is infested with what? Oh, jeez. Oh gosh, and I can't move? Oh god. Oh, but I just want to reach level 25, man! Oh, big slime! Big slime! Big slime! Big slime! Big slime! Big slime! I'm gonna die down here, man. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die down here. Guys, no. This isn't the end for me. Oh god, if I die down here, I'm gonna lose my ancient sword. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't have the courage. I do not have the power. Oh my gosh. I should leave. I should leave. I should leave. How do I leave the mines? How do I leave? How do I leave? Oh my god, that was so stressful. Okay, so I did not make level 40 in the mines. Very sad about it. But I think we made good progress, and honestly, I'm kind of happy with the levels that we did reach. But yeah, there was no way. There was no way. I was definitely gonna die or pass out because it's 20 to 11. Ugh. Well, I mean, Robin didn't build her coop in time. I did not reach level 40 in the mines. I did not repair the bridge that I completely forgot about this entire season. Oh, well. What an end to spring, eh? What an end to spring, I assume. Again, I think 28 is the last day. I'm not sure. Can I fight you? Wait. Ha Now that I have the seal sword, I'm kind of more confident about the monsters on my farm. Oh, they gave me rice shoots and stuff. Cool. And then hit the hay. Good night, Caesar. Alright, let's call it a night. That's it! Day 28 of spring. Wow, cauliflower is so worth it to harvest. Wow. Okay. Good to know. Oh my god, so is the bug meat. They gave me 124 gold. That's so good. Day 1 of summer. We did it. All right, and that is where I'm going to leave it. So thank you all so much for watching. That was my entire first season in Stardew Valley as a complete beginner. I actually think maybe I may have made more progress than I thought. I just completely forgot about the bridge. Did not make it to level 40 in the mines. And Robin is still building the coop, so that is obviously not going to hit an achievement until summer. So that's a bit of a bummer. I guess it's all relative really, but I am really enjoying this game and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below. I'd love to see it in the comments. If you have made it to the end of this video, maybe put the strawberry emoji down there because I'm from Wexford and we did manage to kill a strawberry plant, so RIP strawberry during my playthrough. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it and had a good time. I haven't got plans yet to record the next season, but I know there is an update coming. So I was wondering what your guys' thoughts are on the new update, and should I start a new save file with potentially a normal farm, just basically any other farm. If you've got a favorite farm, leave it down below in your suggestions. I'd love to hear from you because I think that having the wilderness farm at the beginning really did limit me in the beginning of this playthrough of the first season. So yeah, I don't know. If you guys think that I should maybe restart the game and do the first season again, or if I should just start the game in a new farm and then come back to you with a second season video, please let me know down below. And make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button if you'd like to stay tuned for more. And thank you so much for watching. Truly, if you have made it all the way through, this really means a lot to me. This video took so long to make for me personally. It is the longest video that I've made in terms of how long it took to edit and structure. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!